What's up everybody, it's me E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we're gonna review Birds of Prey. Alright, let's jump right into a quick intro. Harley Quinn has broken up with the Joker for good this time, and unfortunately, that means she's also no longer under his protection. And there are a lot of people who really want to get even with her. Alright, let's get right into the good.
The good.
Right off the bat, Birds of Prey wastes very little time in terms of letting you know just how humorous this movie is going to be. It was a really nice and creative touch to infuse a bit of animation to really help emphasize some of the comedy. The animation wasn't done to the point where you'd think that you were watching Space Jam or something like that, but it was the right amount to help match the character of Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. I think one of the funniest scenes had to be the Harley Quinn shanking scene, and her police station scene was also one of the most exciting ones to watch. Now, when it came to the performances, the overall cast was pretty good. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who played Huntress, was enjoyable, even though I kind of think her role might have benefited more by being less humorous. I thought that Journey Smollett-Bell, who played Black Canary, executed her role effectively thanks to having a bit more to work with in regards to her character. I can also understand how some people may want to draw more attention to one or two moments for the supporting cast members, but I just didn't really get the sense that any of them really stole the show, so to speak. Now, Margot Robbie, on the other hand, definitely led the way as the true standout in Birds of Prey. I thought that Margot Robbie delivered an excellent performance as Harley Quinn. Now, whatever you might have liked about her in Suicide Squad was turned up a notch in this movie. I mean, she was easily the brightest spot whenever she was on the screen. Unexpectedly, Robbie was also able to show a different and more full side of her character by capturing a nice range of emotions and therefore making Harley Quinn a little bit more relatable. I really liked how Robbie was able to switch up Harley's different sides of her personality by being wild and funny one minute to being vulnerable the next, to quickly tapping into her academic background to deliver a quick psych evaluation on the spot. Now, without question, the best highlight for Birds of Prey is going to be in the action. I thought that the fight scenes were done mostly well and almost gave off a bit of a John Wick type of vibe at times. Now, the fight choreography might not have been as tight and succinct as you would find in a John Wick film, but it did incorporate some humor and some really gruesome violence. Look, there are some bone-crunching scenes, and you will not help but to kind of cringe and hold back a little bit whenever you see them happen. Whenever Harley Quinn has a weapon, just know that a really cool scene is about to happen. I should also mention that the cinematography in this film really helped to enhance those fight scenes. The slow motion effects were done in a meaningful way to help you really see the full impact of certain moves. Okay, well, that wraps that up. Let's go on to the bad.
The bad.
Now, there really aren't any major flaws with this movie, but at the same time, there are a couple minor things that I'd like to mention. Now, I wasn't a particular fan of the musical number that they included in this. I didn't think it really added very much, and it just kind of felt like one of those things that they added to the movie that probably should have been a deleted scene. Thankfully, it was pretty brief and it didn't last for long. Another nitpick would be like the direction of the structure and flow of the story, because it's all kind of out of sorts in a way. It begins with a focus on Harley, but then jumps around to another character, and then comes together in what kind of feels like a clumsy way. However, in all fairness, this story is being narrated by a mentally unstable Harley Quinn, so there's some wiggle room to be had there. Now, when it came to the characters, I did think that one of the weaker ones was Ian McGregor's Black Mask. I understand that this can be chalked up to a different portrayal of the comic book villain. However, I just wasn't a fan of how he was portrayed. Now, don't get me wrong, the character is not that deep, and he's really just a typical gang leader with anger issues. However, in Birds of Prey, it almost seemed like they played him off as being bipolar when he would go through a range of emotions that were just kind of off-putting. While again, this is minor, it just felt like Birds of Prey was forcing his character to be more of a match for Harley Quinn rather than allowing him to be a basic crime boss that he's typically always been from the source material. Plus, it would have been nice had he actually worn the black mask more, because we only got a few minutes of that in the whole movie. Now, despite all of that, he was still pretty entertaining. Now, the final nitpick I'll have for this movie is the fact that I didn't really think that the characters were allowed to be themselves. It seemed as though each character had a distinct set of personality traits that made them unique. However, the moment they were around Harley Quinn, they would immediately begin to adopt her traits. For example, there's a character in the movie who's pretty serious and sincere, and in the final climactic third act of the film, she was all of a sudden cracking jokes and smiling more. That immediate shift felt odd and a little bit unearned. And I felt as though it robbed the important contrast in the dynamic between Harley Quinn and other characters. In other words, if everyone around Harley Quinn starts acting like her, then it makes Harley Quinn less special in a sense and diminishes her prominence as the lead character. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
Birds of Prey is a wildly fun and violent entry into the DC comic book movie lineup. It's basically a softer version of Deadpool with its narration, humor, and violence. The only real difference here is that it's just less bloody than Deadpool was. Nevertheless, Birds of Prey exemplified the tone and direction to match the personality of Harley Quinn. While the film may not be a perfect home run, it's still an entertaining watch with a rock-solid female cast. I think a major accomplishment for this movie was the fact that it was able to stand on its own without the need of a more prominent figure like Batman, even though the Joker is referenced a lot and not seen in the movie. So when it comes to the rating for Birds of Prey, I've got to give it a 7 out of 10. Now, if you happen to enjoy the Harley Quinn animated series on the DC Universe online streaming platform, then this movie is going to be right up your alley. And I know it's not really saying much, but this was also better than Suicide Squad. Now, for those of you that are wondering about whether there's a post-credit scene or not, there really isn't like a post-credit scene, but there is a post-credit audio all the way at the end of the credits. I would recommend that you don't really need to stay for that. You can save yourself 5 minutes because it's really just a quick little joke from Harley Quinn. It doesn't add on or tease anything for the future movies or anything like that. So yeah, like, don't feel compelled to have to stay for that final post-credit audio. You could probably read it online and again, save yourself the 5 minutes. So are you planning to see Birds of Prey? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know what you thought about the movie so we can talk about it. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video and joining me today. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.